Hello, my name is Michael. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're finally doing the fourth and final piece of my 100 wand collection, where you will see which wand shall be my 100th in the collection. You can see the links to the other videos in the bio below, so let's get going. Whew, okay, so we made it through the Noble Collection wands. That was all of them that I own. Like I said, I'm still, as of this video, I'm missing 12 Noble Collection wands, and then there's going to be the Hagrid's Umbrella that's going to come out later this year, so that'll be exciting when we have that one also. Been looking for that one for a long time. So that's all the Noble Collection wands. Let's move on to the park wands. So at Universal Studios Orlando, that's the park that I frequent. I've never been to the Hollywood park, and I haven't been to Japan. I'd love to someday, but I haven't been yet. But at all of the parks, what they used to do, what they would sell the unique designs that were exclusive to the park. You could only buy them at the park, and it was before the interactives. So there was a whole line of 13 wands. They were either called your birthday wands, or they were called just the non-hero wands. People always ask, so which character is this? It's not a character. They're designs unique to Wizarding World, even though some of them aren't unique because they're kind of like just copy and pasted between two pieces to other wands. They had these, so those are the ones that came out first, and so you could buy these in the park. They had a satin and just styrofoam. That's all that's in here. It's not like foam like the Noble Collection ones. It's just a styrofoam filling with a satin cloth over it, and then styrofoam on the top, pretty bare bones, and then the Ollivander sticker on the end. And so each of these was based off of a different wood. Of course, they're not made of wood. So then when Diagon Alley was introduced, they discontinued that entire line, and they switched over to the interactive wands. And so the interactive wands have a gold shiny sticker on the end with the Ollivander symbol. So like, for example, how these are different from the other ones, because the character wands in the park are going to have a character label on them. So this is Nymphadora Tonks's, if it would focus. So it's going to have the character label, and if it's an interactive character wand, it's going to have a shiny label at the end. That's how you know it's interactive, and those are the ones that you can use to cast spells around in the park. If it's just flat like this, no shiny, that means it's just a basic wand. It's just the character wand, just like you get from Noble Collection, but it's more expensive. So that's how you can tell the difference. So they don't sell the non-interactive wands anymore, the ones with the non-shiny label. All the unique designs are completely interactive now. So for my collecting purposes, not everyone feels this way, but I wanted all 13 of the non-interactive and all 13 of the interactive. As you're going to see, some of the designs changed. They got rid of, I guess, the 4 least popular designs, and you might see why in a minute, why they got rid of those and switched to new designs. So for your collecting purposes, if you're like a crazy person like I am, and you want all the designs, then you wouldn't want to collect these, because these are like basically just repeats of each other, but they have a little interactive tip in the end. But I want all of them, so that's just for my collecting purposes. So for my number, my 100, it's 13 and 13. So that's what we're going to be looking at now. If you're shopping on eBay for the non-interactive wands, they're a little harder to find just because they're older and they're a little rarer now. The way you can instantly tell when you're looking on eBay is if you see the non-shrink wrapped satin finish. On the interactive wands from the park, now they have the shrink plastic version, the mold plastic, that's going to be unique to that wand. So when I'm scrolling through eBay or other websites looking for the non-interactive wands, which I'm still missing 3, that's how I can tell. If it's satin, it's non-interactive. If it's shrink wrapped, it's interactive. So I do have all 13 of the interactive wands now, so don't need to look for those anymore. But that's how you can tell right away. All of the interactive park wands also come with the spell map, and so the spell maps are a lot of fun. I love the design and the way that they did these, very much like the Marauders map or anything else from the movies. Something I think that's kind of interesting about these maps is that they've been updated over time, and so I'm glad I grabbed this one first, because you can see on this map that it still has the Dragon Challenge on there. The Dragon Challenge, of course, is no longer there. So this is one of the older wand maps. So when they first introduced Diagon Alley, Universal Studios, one side for each side of the park, and that still has the Dragon Challenge on it. So now that is no longer there, we're gonna grab this one, which yeah, has Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure on it. So they changed the wand maps there. So that's another way, like if it's important to you and you kind of want all the versions of the wand maps, you can kind of tell when they were brought about by that in the corner. The Hollywood Studios map, of course, they don't have Diagon Alley, they just have Hogsmeade. And so they've got Hogsmeade on this side, and it has different spell locations. It's a different experience over there. I haven't been, but you can tell that the spells are different. And then on the other side is just a how to cast spells. So they had to put something on the back, so it teaches you how to cast spells there. I don't have any of the Universal Studios Japan wand maps. I didn't buy any of the wands that included that, so I love to own one. So if you've got an extra, hit me up. The wand bags also used to be sold in bags that look like this. And so Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Universal Studios was what the bags used to be. And then when they upgraded to the interactive wands, then they kind of had these boutique style bags, which look very designer and fancy and fun. Ollivander's bags. So I'm always scandalized when people throw these away, because people sell these on eBay for like $10, which if you really wanted this and you really wanted to get a hold of it and couldn't ever get to the parks, then, you know, why not? But yeah, don't throw these away. Just, you know, keep them. So let's dive into the park ones. So anytime I have doubles, so let's just start with an example. So this one, the first one is going to be Rowan. And so I've got both of the interactive and non-interactive versions here. And so they're basically exactly the same. You can tell that they're interactive because one's got the bead on the end, which interacts with the spell locations, and one doesn't. So with these designs, just about when they upgraded to, we put the even on the table there, they pretty much just extended the mold out a little bit to include room for the bead. That's really the only change. Nothing else has changed in the design. These have like exactly the same paint job, so nothing going on here. But I still count these for my purposes. Maybe you disagree with me, whatever, it's my video, it's not yours. But these count as 1 and 2. So 2 in my collection right there. Next is going to be Birch. So the paint job did change pretty significantly from one to the next. And so this is the non-interactive and this is the interactive. And so I like the non-interactive paint job better. The kind of that bony look, but you know, there's Birch. Next is Alder. Another one with just a darker paint job. The interactive Alder is, I think it's so long it's gotten really kind of warped, and that's really common with a lot of the park wands. None of the park wands have any of the stabilizers, like the metal rods that are in most of the Noble Collection wands. So a lot of them can get really warpy, and that's the case with quite a few of mine. So that's unfortunate. But so this is going to be Alder. Next is Holly. So these up against each other. The interactive is on top, the non-interactive is on bottom. And so Holly, again, I think I prefer the non-interactive paint job, just because it's lighter. I mean, some of these wands are so dark. So that's Holly. Next is Vine. Now the non-interactive Vine, which is this one, is the first wand that I ever bought in the park. One of the unique designs when I first started going there, I think like 2011 or so. But this is another one that it really gets impacted by warping. You might be able to tell as I'm turning it just how off-centered it is. The interactive wand is much more straight. Doesn't deal with that warpy issue. So I guess that's a plus. So that's fine. Next is Ash. The interactive is up top. So very similar, you know, a little dark. I have seen some people will have the interactive wands, and I think they like paint on this weathering. So let's try this for a second. So they do the paint job, and then I think they paint on, like they dry brush it for weathering, so you can see, maybe you can see a little bit there, how some of that weathering has come off on my finger. And so that's just doing it for about 5 seconds. And so some people's wands, like over time, they'll just lighten. So I don't know if all of that weathering and darkening is really all that essential, especially if you're bringing your wand to the park a lot. So next is going to be Hazel. Hazel is one of the ones that got a complete redesign whenever they went from non-interactive to the interactive wands, and I can kind of see why. So this was the original Hazel, and then this is the interactive Hazel, so completely different wands. This one is so small, it's so short. Like, I don't want to offend anybody if you like if this is like your heart and everything, but like imagine going through the whole Ollivander's wand experience and having the wand choose you, and then it's like, here you go, this little, okay, anyway, so I do prefer the interactive Hazel a lot more, kind of that woody handle, so I think that this was an improvement. Next is Willow, and it's a very similar situation here. So we have the pre-interactive, non-interactive Willow wand, and then the redesigned one, which I definitely prefer the interactive. It's just so small. I was thinking they were going for like oh, we need like a 3-year-old sized one. It's precious. You could like put it like in your hair or something, and like it'd be a little hairpin, but not for, you know. Anyway, I do prefer this one a lot more. I bring this one to the park very frequently, just because I like being able to hold it there, being able to hold it there. It's got a good balance to it, so I like bringing this one to the park. Next is Oak, another one that was redesigned, and so here is the non-interactive and the interactive. So the Oak wand, this one is like that snake one that we saw earlier, the Death Eater snake, along with like this little rat tail thing. All three of the ones that got redesigned here all have that little rat tail. So I guess they got tired of it, and maybe it was snapping off for people in the park. But this one is toast, and then it got switched to this very long one. I almost never bring this one to the park. It's so long, it doesn't fit in my backpack. It doesn't fit like in a wand pocket really well in a robe. It just pokes everything. So either one of these. Oak is not one of my favorites, but it's still part of the collection, still loved. Next is Ivy, and this was the last one that was redesigned when they went to the interactive wands. And so this was the original Ivy, and then this is the redesigned Ivy. Another improvement in my opinion. So I like this one a lot with the gold and I just, you know, it's not much going on there. Kind of a boring design. Compared to this one, which is just a little more pretty and shiny. So the next ones, I don't have the non-interactive version yet, so still waiting on adding those to the collection. So this one's going to be Elder, so this is just the interactive version of Elder. The non-interactive is exactly the same, except for maybe the paint job. Maybe this one's a little darker. Then we have Reed. And last is Hawthorne. It's a little surprised that this one didn't get redesigned. It's another one that's pretty basic, but I guess it was selling well enough that they didn't feel like they needed to. So this design stayed when it went to interactive. So those are all the ones that you can currently buy in the parks, the interactive versions. The non-interactives, you can't get those in the parks anymore. They're not sold anywhere. They're not in back rooms. They're gone. So you'll have to look on eBay. You'll have to look in other websites to find used wands there. There are 3 additional wands that have been in the parks. These are all based on either special events or special releases, and so I'm really glad to have all 3 of them because these are all interactive wands, so you can cast spells with all of them, and 2 of them are very difficult to find now. So Universal Studios used to hold a fantastic event called the Celebration of Harry Potter. Unfortunately, they haven't made any announcements when that event is going to be coming back, if ever. I really hope it does. It was a fantastic time, and I really miss that event a lot. They had it for quite a few years, and then in 2017 they started selling a unique design that was only available at the event, only for attendees that purchased it there. And so that's going to be the 2017 Celebration of Harry Potter wand. There's no date on the front of this. Let me check real fast if there's one on the back. Well, yeah, there's the trademark. So 2017 is there on the back, so you can tell that that's when it was from. It comes in the classic Ollivander wand box style, and so this is the 2017 interactive Celebration of Harry Potter wand. It is interactive, so it's got the bead on the end. This one is, I never see this one on eBay. If you're a collector and this is something that pops up and it's a price you can afford, if it's really important to you, then go for it. Now, Celebration of Harry Potter 2018 was one I was actually able to attend myself. And so the box here, this one does have the year on the front, so 2018 is there. And so this one, I think this might be my favorite design ever. I might just be biased because it was such an amazing event and I had so much fun there. But this is the 2018 Celebration of Harry Potter wand. So many things to look at here, even from the silver tip down to that silver design, down to the kind of just the woodwork there. None of these are wood. These are plastic. But anyway, the silver design, and then the base, the jewels there, and then the shiny jewel there at the bottom. Love this one. It's so light, it's so fun to hold, and it just makes me think back to Celebration 2018 when they had the event. Please, Universal, if you're watching this, please bring the event back. It was amazing. If it's in Hollywood, I'll still come. If it's Universal, I'll definitely be there. Please have more events. Please release more wands. I will buy them. The last special Universal Park wand is going to be the Collector's Edition 2019. And so I think I've done a video all about this. You can check that one out. But since we're showing all 100, that's going to be here. And so we've got beautiful design. I think this is one of Haley's other favorite ones. Great design there. Jewel down at the bottom. So I did an entire video about this, so definitely check that out if you want to see more about this one. All right, friends, we're so close to being done. Thank you for sticking with me. If you've been counting, what we should be up to right now is 98. Should be 98 wands. I think I'm a Ravenclaw, so I've kept really careful track of this. If I've missed any of these, I'll be devastated. I know I have. I know I have 100 in the collection, but I hope I've shown all of them in the video. There's a lot of wands moving around right here, so we'll see. But anyway, so in addition to the Noble Collection selling wands, in addition to the Universal Studios wands, there are also officially licensed wands that are sold through the Cursed Child stage play. And so Cursed Child is spreading all over the world. It's in London, it's in New York, it's San Francisco, it's going to be in Germany, I'm pretty sure, all over the place. And so they have a gift shop where you can purchase wands from the characters in the show. So currently they have 5, so that's going to be Scorpius, Albus, Hermione and Ron, and then Harry. So those are the 5 that are currently sold. There are definitely more wand designs in the show, so I hope they continue to release so that I can continue to collect them. As we're moving through the collection, so this is going to be Albus Potter's wand, and so these wand designs are pretty unique. They've got kind of like a velvety cover with the gold foil, so the 8th story, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and then 19 years later, and then all of them have the character's name there at the end. Just a note on the packaging, these are really hard to kind of open. I mean, this flap really doesn't, it's like that's as far as it goes without really kind of bending it. But anyway, it's got kind of this paper flap over it to protect it. And then this is Albus Potter's wand. And so, nice shape. It's all of these are kind of have a very natural design, a very woody design. Even though you can't see them, I mean, I haven't seen the show, so I'd imagine that you can't really see the detail all that well from back up. Maybe if you're on the front early rows, you can see these really well. But I just think that it's so great that they put so much thought into the design because the actors are going to hold these. And it's got an A on the bottom, like he carved it in himself or something. So great design there. Next, we're going to have his best friend, Scorpius Malfoy's wand. This one, so the Albus's wand I bought for myself when I was in New York. So I visited the gift shop there. I don't think you can get into the UK gift shop. When we were there in 2018, you had to attend the show in order to attend the gift shop. But in New York, they just have the gift shop open. And so Scorpius's wand was actually gifted by my dear friend Savannah. When we went to go visit her, she got this for me because she's so kind and thoughtful. And so Scorpius's wand is here. Scorpius's is great. I love the kind of the weird, unusual curve to it. He's got all of these like tick marks. You can kind of see the tick marks. It's also got his initials carved into it. I guess that was like a popular thing to do at Hogwarts during their time. But yeah, great shape. Kind of hold it there. Can hold it in a couple different places. But yeah, great to have that one too. And now to say what my 100th wand, the 100 licensed wand in my collection. Since I started with The Boy Who Lived, I figured I should bring it full circle. And so my 100th wand, the 100th wand in my collection, I ordered it from the Cursed Child shop. It had cool packaging, so you don't have to go all the way to New York or other places to get the wand. But my 100th wand is going to be Harry Potter's wand. And so this is Harry's wand from Cursed Child show. It is going to be, of course, a different design from the movie because they're telling their own aesthetic, their own graphic design, their own thing going on, but handle is very large. Love the handle. It's got this kind of knobbly wooden design on the end, and it's a nice long complete wand. So very happy to go from Harry at the beginning in around 2004 to today, 2020. 100 wands. You've just seen all of them. I've been through all of them. Thank you for sticking with me. I love talking about wands. I love sharing wands, and so thank you for sticking out through all of this to show all of them. Like I said, in the show notes, I'm going to be linking a Google Doc that I use to help myself keep track of my collection. And so if you are a collector, or maybe you just want to see what kind of wands are out there, I try to include hyperlinks that are going to take you to where you can purchase each of the wand designs if they're still sold. If they're no longer sold, unfortunately, you know, you're just going to have to Google it yourself. So I'll try to keep that updated if any website or anything changes. Comment below if you have any issues accessing it or if the links are broken or something. But anyway, so thank you so much for watching. Keep the magic alive, and we'll see you later. Bye.